So the question still remains, who really is the fastest man alive? No, not you. Not yet anyways. But more importantly, who is the quicker Silver? Now, many people would like to draw comparisons with the speedsters in X-Men and Avengers by comparing the two respective iconic scenes. Evan Peters' time in a bottle scene with the Aaron Taylor Johnson Quicksilver death scene. Yeah, it's funny cause one stopped bullets by moving them and the other stopped it with his body. Okay, no, this is wrong. Well, actually, it's pretty accurate. But the tone implies such an exaggerated illustration. A little backstory on Quicksilver from the comics. He's a mutant son of Magneto who has the ability to run up to Mach 4 or Mach 5. By the way, I'm going to use the term Mach a lot for shorter reference, but basically the concept being Mach 1 is the speed of sound, Mach 2 is twice as fast, and 3 is thrice, and so on and so forth. The speed of sound is about 340 meters per second, or 761 miles per hour. To expand on this topic, we need to evaluate exactly how fast each Maximoff's top speed really is. A little notice, by the way, all my sources are down below, from guns used in the movies, to quotations, to other info. Now this may be a bit restricting for an X-Men Days of Future Past. The only running sequence we observe is the breakout scene. But thanks to Kyle Hill on the YouTube channel Nerdist, link in the description by the way, he explains how Quicksilver was able to listen to his Walkman while running super fast without being slowed down, which was always a question to me. Hill concludes that Quicksilver had 0.05 seconds or less to save Charles and Xavier with the bullets traveling at 450 meters per second, of course with the distance between the guns and victims being 2.6 meters. And since 450 meters per second is already faster than the speed of sound, it is safe to assume Quicksilver is well past Mach 1. Well, okay, we have these numbers, but how fast was he running? So since the bullet was traveling through the air for 1 minute and 12 seconds because of super speed, and it was only supposed to fly for 0.05 seconds, he is running at least 1,760 times faster than the bullet being shot. This suggests that he is running at least 792,000 meters per second, or Mach 2,327. That should have literally instantaneously liquefied everyone in the room. But Wolverine would have walked out unscathed, right? So how fast did Pietro Maximoff really run in his debut in Age of Ultron? Well, he is shown to actually show a lot of human characteristics, with the movie subtly addressing, hey, this guy has enhanced speed, not enhanced stamina, as seen when he tires out. But shown here where Quicksilver is about to take off, he is shot by a bullet, meaning he needs to build up speed in order to get in focus. And here we could see that he is not too slow for a gun, as he can see the bullet moving with his eyes moving at normal pace. The film also implies that Quicksilver can in fact catch a bullet, as shown when he sets Ulysses Claw's dismantled gun on the table. Okay, so yes, this Maximoff can in fact catch a bullet, not with just his body, but with his hands. And the gun Claw uses appears to be a Beretta 92, which has the muzzle velocity of 381 meters per second, a little past Mach 1. With this in mind, we know that this iteration of Quicksilver is in fact faster than the speed of sound. However, Pietro is seen capable at running at different speeds as seen throughout the earlier footages. But what is his fastest speed? Well, if you take a good look here at Quicksilver's perception of time, you will find a hint. Here you will notice that Ultron's laser beam is shown being blasted through the air in slow motion. Although Quicksilver is unable to catch up to it, he nearly reached it before it touched the ground. Remember, lasers travel at light speed. The implication here is that Quicksilver runs just under the speed of light, which is Mach 880,991. Now this would make this iteration of Quicksilver clearly the winner, if these three faults did not debunk it. Firstly, as stated by Rhett Allen on Wired.com, hopefully I pronounced that right, he points out that, quote, lasers travel at the speed of light, yet clearly you can see that these beams have some speed that is much smaller than the speed of light. Of course, he was referring to the Star Wars blasters, but in this case, it seems it would be able to be applied here. In Age of Ultron, it is never flat out stated that Ultron and Iron Man's beams are lasers. Secondly, in another reference article on Wikipedia, it is pointed out that it is possible that, quote, blaster technology is different from real lasers. It is possible that they are a form of particle beam. This is supported by how magnetically sealed walls deflect them. Due to Wikipedia's credibility issues, you can take that last bit of info with a grain of salt, but it does show a point. Thirdly, in an interview for the release of Age of Ultron, the director Joss Whedon has stated something along the lines of that Quicksilver being as fast or almost as fast as a bullet. But bullets travel at different speeds, so how is this helpful? Well, this illustration of his death by a Gatling gun was probably what Joss was talking about. To get this out right away, the gun mounted on the Avengers Quinjet is the M134 minigun, which has a muzzle velocity of 853 meters per second. Nearly twice as fast, heavier, and bigger than the Colt Pythons being held by the guards in Days of Future Past. Now, I know this is probably not the best source for this, but it's the only thing that would seem plausible for the scale of the helicarrier from the movie. This Lego set of the helicarrier shows that the width of a helicarrier in Age of Ultron is about 970 feet, or 295.6560 meters. Now, looking at this image, the mini-carrier width is about the same size as the width of the road, and in this picture, we could use the road as a reference. Measuring it up, the mini-carrier is a tenth of the helicarrier. Therefore, the width of a mini-carrier should be around 29.6 meters. Right here is where Hawkeye is supposedly at when Quicksilver has to run in and save him. Quicksilver is shown to be near the mini-carrier as seen here. So to find the distance between point A and point B, we have to rename point B to C and move point B near this park area. By scaling the mini-carrier, we could approximate that this length is 177.6 meters and this length to be 59.2 meters. Now, of course, Quicksilver would have not made a 90-degree turn to save Hawkeye because he has to save him from incoming fire fast. And with point A, B, and C laid out and a right angle present, we are able to use the Pythagorean theorem to hypothesize the route Quicksilver most likely took, aka the hypotenuse. Doing so, the distance proves to be 187.20 meters between Hawkeye and Quicksilver. The Quinjet is right above the 4-story building here, and the average height for one story is 3 meters, so the Quinjet is about 12 meters above the ground. Using the mini-carrier again as a reference, the floor distance between the Quinjet and Hawkeye is 118.4 meters. With the Pythagorean theorem, we find that the distance between the Gatling gun and Hawkeye is 119 meters. Okay, now we have all the numbers. Just kidding. Not yet. So with the bullet traveling at 853 meters per second, Quicksilver would have had 0.14 seconds to save Hawkeye. But since he was so far, he had to be running at least 1,336 meters per second, which is Mach 4. I'm just going to tell you right now, the comparison between the Quicksilvers from X-Men and Age of Ultron is a really unfair comparison. As obviously seen with the naked eye, the X-Men's Quicksilver is just too fast for the Avengers' Quicksilver. It is like comparing a snail to a human in a race. In the end, Quicksilver from Age of Ultron resembles the Maximoff from the comics we all know and love, running at Mach 4, while the one from X-Men really resembles more of a Flash kind of guy. Thanks everyone for tuning in on this week's episode. It took a lot more research than I thought it would, oh my gosh. Anyways, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. As always, I'll see you in the next video.